And there we go. We're live.
Hello.
Hi there. So, hello everyone, and welcome to today's live interview. I'm going to be interviewing Alastair Casey. Go ahead and say hello and give us an introduction of yourself as well.
Hi, I'm Alastair. I make things on YouTube. I don't have an introduction planned. Yeah, I don't know. I make let's see. I don't really I'm not comfortable enough calling them animations, but I make life story videos, so with drawings, and I do vlogs with like cosplaying because I go to conventions and stuff like that. Kind of like the nerdy sort of fandom-y side of videos, but I do some, general life story videos, but yeah, that's kind of it. Hey.
Yeah, I guess you could call them maybe animatics.
Animatic, like, I don't know, like animatics too, it's kind of because with an animatic it's like an unfinished product, so it's like, the pre-step to animation. So you have an animatic, so it's like your, a storyboarded thing. And so when I think animatic, I think much of like sketchy, quick timed like events sort of.
Mm-hmm.
So but then the videos I'm making, that is the finished product, so it's not quite an animatic, it's more of just like an illustrated story, I guess that's what you can call it, an illustrated story. Like there's bits where I do sort of like GIF-like animation in parts, and I've just now started to get into like the whole, like my most recent video. There's a decent amount of like lip syncing, and I was like playing around a lot on Adobe Premiere Pro with like kind of like tweening and stuff. So I'm like definitely getting to the part where I'm like starting the animation part, but I'm still not really comfortable calling myself an animator. But yeah, yeah.
Have you tried frame by frame animation yet? Or no?
I have. I first did that like 2 or 3 years ago, like on my old computer. I was starting this project. It was like way too big for me. Like I bit off more than I could chew. But it was this like long. It was at least 10 pages. This long script, and it was supposed to be like 12 frames per second animation. And I got to the first like 40 seconds to maybe 60 seconds by myself, and it was okay animation. Like it was like I would probably never share it. Yeah, it's on my old computer, but I did it on Adobe Animate, and yeah, that's like the last real time I've tried like actual animation. But I want to start actually doing real animation. Like there's a little cartoon that's like, it's very short. It's like 2.5 pages that I want to put out like maybe on Halloween or something and start it like in a month or two. But yeah, we'll see about that. Like I really actually want to start like doing animation, because even now, like my Instagram handle is like Alistair Animates, and I only like did it for kind of the alliteration. So I was like, oh, AA. But I'm like, I'm not really an animator. I kind of just draw things that move sometimes, like not all the time. But yeah.
Right. So, Alistair, the first question that I have for you here is, when did you start YouTube?
I started what year are we now? 2018. I think I started 2016. Yeah, like late 2016, like August, I think my first video. It was like August 25th, 2016, I think. I could check, but yeah, I think that's what it was. So that's when I really started YouTube. Previously, I had done YouTube with my twin sister. Like we would make like little cosplay videos and little skits and put them up. And I have like probably 2 or 3 channels with like just buried on YouTube somewhere, like really kind of crappy videos. But yeah, so that's when I guess I don't know. Like I've made YouTube videos before, but I didn't really start my own channel until August of 2016. Yep.
Right. And why did you start YouTube? What got you into YouTube?
I don't know. Like I was kind of, my main space was Tumblr, honestly. Like I would do like I've been cosplaying for since I was like 13, 14, and like I've been doing sort of like voice acting projects for a while. And so like I kind of would always just make things and put them on Tumblr. And I decided, I was like, oh, I'm gonna make, I don't know, I was watching a lot of YouTube. Well, I don't watch as much YouTube anymore, which is kind of funny, but I was watching a lot of YouTube, and then like I kept seeing like people doing these like sort of these story videos, or their characters talking and they're telling a story, and I was like, oh, this is like a thing right now, like this is pretty cute. And I was thinking, I was like, oh, I have all the equipment that I need to do this. I have like a tablet, I have, a microphone, I have a computer, I have an editing program. I'm like, I haven't, at that point I was trying to get myself back into drawing again, because I had drawn as a child, but then I I stopped drawing like completely for like a year or two because I was like, I'm never gonna be good at this. My drawing sucked. And then I was like, it's okay if my drawings suck. I'll just suck with reason. And so I just made this dumb little video of terrible illustrations, like my first video about a convention mishap. And so I was like, okay, I'm just gonna make this. I'll just put this on YouTube because that's where you put your videos, right? And then I got like a really decent response in just like a few days, and I was like, I guess I should make more of these? Question mark. So that's kind of, yeah.
Right. Have you had any channels before this one? This was your first ever channel.
The ones I mentioned that I had with my twin sister were like cosplay channels, and we had at least maybe three, but at least two. I don't want to say them by name. I don't want people looking them up. But they exist still, I think. At least one of them still exists. But that was, yeah, that was like maybe 2012, like, you know, little slightly earlier days of YouTube. But yeah, I haven't like put, like, I thought about times when I could just re-upload these and put these on my new channel, but never watch them. And I'm like, I don't really want to. No, they can stay where they are.
Right, 6 whole years ago.
Yeah, I'm like a kid in that. I'm like, oh no, I'm so little here.
So, is YouTube currently your full-time job?
Yeah, basically, that's kind of a thing. I mainly do, like, I make most of my money through YouTube. I also do Patreon, which is obviously connected to my YouTube, or
Right.
Patreon. But and I also do tiny like voice acting jobs if I can find them. Like not big professional work, not like commercial work or anything, but like someone's like, "Oh, hey, this is for my audio play. Like, can you voice this character?" And I'm like, "Yeah," like that, like very small things like that. And I also, I was doing art commissions for a time. I don't really quite do them now unless it's like for a friend or something. So I kind of just, and I also sell stickers and small merchandise items on Redbubble. So I'm like, I make a lot of small income from small places, and YouTube's like my big income place.
Right, yeah, but I guess at the end everything's like linked up to your YouTube.
Yeah, definitely. It's definitely like having like maybe the voice acting not so much, but then it kind of always kind of ties back to where I'm just like, oh, like you can see more of my work on YouTube. I do voiceover for my videos, you know, stuff like that.
Right.
But yeah. So definitely YouTube is the home base.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I would assume that's where the majority of your income comes from.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, Patreon and merch and such. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
So when did you start drawing, Alistair?
I don't know what age I was. I think most kids just draw when they're little, like scribbles and stuff. So I guess that. But I remember I used to have like these little notepads. I used to draw like I didn't know they were called OCs at the time, but they were basically OCs. Like, oh, this is my Teen Titan OC or like whatever. Like, I don't know, Codenames Kid Next Door or like whatever the fuck I was watching. Like Hamtaro characters. I loved Hamtaro when I was a kid. Hamtaro was still good, but yeah. So I kind of always just was drawing, and I guess I was kind of always the artsy kid. Like, I don't know, like into middle school, like I was just drawing, and people were like, "Oh, you're good at drawing." And that was kind of just what I just did. You know, I wasn't like, I maybe at some point I was like, I want to be an artist when I grow up. But most of my childhood, I had no idea what I wanted to be when I grew up. I was kind of just very like, and I was like, I'm not that good at drawing because you know, when you're in school and you're drawing a doodle, someone's like, "Wow, you're so good! You're like the best artist I've ever seen." And then you, who was you know little artist you at the time has like been online once in their life and have seen work from people who are much better than you, so you're like, I suck, I can never go anywhere with this. And I put myself down a lot. I remember I threw away an entire sketchbook of drawings when I was like 15 or something. I was like, this is bad. And then when I was like maybe 18 to 19 or 17 to 19, something like that, I like stopped drawing. Like I occasionally would doodle for like 5 seconds, and I'm like, whatever, it's just crap. And I just stopped, and then I just kind of started again because I was so I was like, oh, this is so bad. I'm never gonna get anywhere with this. Like I should just stop. I should give up now, basically. And so I just gave up. But then I was just like, I'm gonna suck forever. It's okay if I suck. Like even now, people are like, oh, your art. Like I love your art style. The art's cute. It's good. And I'm just like, not really. But thanks for the compliment. Like I've just accepted, like the things I do have accepted that I'm just not that good at them, and I'm like, I'm just gonna do it anyway, you know?
Thank you for the sub, King of Games. I appreciate it. Okay, so why'd you start drawing, Alistair? What got you into it?
I don't know. Like, and I just kind of just started drawing. I probably just watched a lot of cartoons, honestly, and like liked that. Like, eventually started watching like anime and that BS when I was like 10, 11, stuff like that, like Naruto and stuff. And yeah, it was kind of just seeing things and being like, oh, I want to make a character, and I want to make a story, and I have like characters, and yeah. So that's pretty much all it is.
Thanks for the sub. Alex is the name. I appreciate it. I was about to call you Alex is the game. I apologize. And how'd you go about learning to draw?
Uh, I mean, I did. My mom put my sister and I in this little art studio for a few months when I was like, again, I was like a teenager, like between 14 and 16 or something. I don't know. Did that, and then in high school, I did 3 years of art classes because you could only do 3 years of art classes. So I did that. You know, they were very bad and boring, and it was the same stuff taught again and again. I was just like, I just want to take the art class. So it's kind of just, I would always be put in situations where it was like, oh, here, you know, you can practice and get better, like here. So I was like always sort of given the tools, like, you know, I'd be giving gifts, like, oh, here's a new sketchbook or something, you know what I mean? So I was like, okay. So I had the tools to draw and create. So I just kind of just used them, you know?
Right. And well, I know you don't consider yourself an animation channel, but I guess when did you start like kind of like playing around with it?
With animation, I want to say 19-ish. I want to say. I remember I saw there's this really good animator YouTuber named Chris Neosi. He's also a voice actor. He made a series called Tome. I forget what Tome stands for. Oh wait, Training of Magical Expertise. Wait, I don't know. I don't remember what that was. But yeah, it's called Tome. It's Tome. But yeah, it's on YouTube still. But I remember seeing his work and I was like, oh wow, like his art style is very simple. And I was thinking like, oh wow, like he's not like, and this, almost seems mean to say, but he's like not an extraordinary like illustrator, I guess, but he's like a good animator. And I was like, oh, like you don't need to be like a top-notch, like amazing, you know, aesthetically pleasing drawer to be a good animator, you know, as long as you can bring life into something, which he does very well, brings life into his characters. But he made this entire series, and I was like, I mean, with help, but still, like, I was like, wow, like, this is really good. And so I was very inspired by, like, just seeing him do this. And I was like, wow, what if I made, like, my own little thing? And that kind of came into me writing this, like, script for a animated cartoon short, and then it not really happening. Like, I ended up casting voices for it and everything. I had a script finished, and I, like, got, like, you know, 30 to 60 seconds of animation actually done for it. But, yeah, so it kind of started with just watching Chris Neosi stuff, I think, just to be like, oh wow, like you can actually like do this. You know what I mean? Like I hadn't really considered. I mean, there was times in my teenagehood where I had considered animation, but I was like, I'm just not even a good enough artist to even consider that. But you really don't need to be a good artist to be a good animator. Like, you think about have you seen those animations like the little stick guy and he's like running around and doing all this crazy stuff, and it's just like, you know, it's just a little stick drawing, but like that character has so much life put into him, even though he's not like a beautifully rendered dude. You know, he's just a stick. But so I thought that's a pretty inspiring to me. I don't know. That's just my hot take.
I've seen the ones by Alan Becker.
Yeah, I think that's probably the dude I'm talking about.
Yeah, he made them like I think 12 years ago or so.
Yeah, but it's just the fact that it's like, you know, it's a little stick guy, but it's like all this crazy stuff is happening, and I'm like, whoa, this is so cool, you know?
Yeah, I mean, it's not like, you can't compare it to like a movie, I guess, but yeah, it's pretty
It's
simple. The
it's good. Yeah,
drawings.
it's good. It's good. It's good animation. Like, you know, it doesn't have to be like a good drawing. So
Right.
it's just like it's very cool. I think that's cool. I don't know.
Right. And so did you start animating for the purposes of like getting into YouTube or just
Um,
wanted to?
not really getting into YouTube, but I like making stories and creating characters and stuff, which probably doesn't really come across on my YouTube now. Like I like write a lot in my free time. It's like, you know, fan fiction and stuff, but it's still like I like creating universes and stuff. So I just forgot what my point was. What was I going with it? But yeah, but no, yeah. So I didn't make that. I wasn't starting to animate to get into YouTube. I was kind of just animating for like a passion project to be like, this is just something I really want to do. You know what I mean? Like I just want to make a story and like touch people because you can really speak to people through like just a story you've created, whether that's animation or like some other visual format or even just like a written a story. You know what I mean? So I think that's just a thing I just want to eventually do with my life, I think.
Right. Hi there. Oh dear, I don't even...
It's Freeze, actually. I recognize this person because I said their username wrong.
Oh my god. It doesn't look like Freeze at all. F-R-Z-Z-E-Z. Good god.
I think I have it right. It is Freeze, right? They're gonna yell at me.
Yeah, I was about to say F-R-Z... I don't even know what I was... What? You need to get that username sorted. You really do.
Yeah, no, it is Freeze. Haha, I was right. I knew it. I know
That-
you. You come to my Instagram streams. Hello.
My god, but like, Jesus. Okay. Freeze then, higher. So, how'd you go about learning to, well, like I've said before, you don't consider yourself an animation channel, but I guess what you do now.
How I learned the stuff I learned now?
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay. Okay. It just sort of just watching other YouTubers, I guess, to see like what they're doing in their videos. Like I guess other storytelling like channels, you know, and be like, okay, like this is also like what, you know, like just be like, okay, this is like, you know, like something maybe I could like take away from this, like, oh, like this person like did like I don't know, like I'm just trying to like observe what other people are doing and see like what works for them and see if it could also like work for me, I guess. Being like, oh, like this person does lip sync and that looks nice. I should consider, you know, taking the time and effort into doing like lip sync. You know what I mean? Like stuff like that. Like recently, I've thought about making a like some kind of even just a simple but like a background for my little talking character. So like, because him just having the white background's kind of boring. I'm like, oh, maybe I could like do some kind of small illustration or something very simple just to kind of spruce it up. You know, things like that. But so yeah, I kind of just try to just learn from other people, I guess. Like I'm on a Discord that's with a lot of the story animation, whatever you want to call it, like YouTubers. And so just like, you know, a lot of people give each other like, you know, like helpful advice on there. And so it's just me just kind of learning from other people. I'm reiterating myself a lot, but you know, yeah.
Right. And what's your opinion on how YouTube, you know, treats animators and people that do what you do and such?
So basically things that take a lot of time to put out. Is that what
Yeah,
you're saying?
pretty much.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I don't know. I have a lot of misgivings with YouTube, and I guess like the algorithm and just how it goes about like censoring and like not. It just doesn't support certain channels, I guess. That being people who take a long time to produce things like animation channels or even LGBT YouTubers who get flagged for using like, you know, like I'm pretty sure if I made a video right now that had the word trans or transgender in the title, I would get demonetized, is basically what I'm saying.
Oh, yeah.
But so that's always a thing. That's a fun thing. But I don't know, because it's always artists have always had the short end of the stick. So honestly, YouTube, it's like it's not a new battle. I mean, it's an unfair one, but again, it's always been rough. If anything you do takes a long time, you're always sort of getting the short end. I mean, like if your product amount is going to be a lot greater than someone who does like daily vlogs or someone who uploads like 3 to 5 times like a week, like because you're there, you just can't, like the amount of effort you're putting into it will always surpass the amount of effort that person is putting into it, which I mean but that person is always going to beat you in you know, just being consistent, because you're never going to be consistent. I mean, you can be consistent with your own space. We're like, oh, I get 2 uploads a month, and like that's a lot for you, you know. But I don't know, like there's just I don't like I just don't like the just, you know, the whole like, oh, it's unfair to animators, and it is unfair to animators or anyone who takes a long time to create their craft. but at the same time, it's just not unexpected to me. Like I'm like, of course it's gonna be a thing. You know what I mean? Like I don't really know because like I try to think like way of YouTube how it could actually like be in our favor and like help us, but I really can't think of like a solution to it. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's just the simple fact that what you're doing is going to take a long time and you're not really promised views even though it took a long time. And so it's kind of just more of an issue maybe artists being like underappreciated or like I don't know what it is, but that's all. I don't know. I don't want to get too much into. I don't want to like say something wrong because I don't really know what to say about it. I don't want to upset anyone, but yeah, that's my like 2 cents, I guess.
Right. Freeze is saying it's National Pi Day, you know. Name as many digits of pi you can off the top of your head. I can only name 3.14. That's all I can go.
You did better than me because I forgot that was even a thing. I haven't been in school for a little bit, so I don't remember any of this crap. God, I'm terrible at math. Like I was pretty much a straight A student minus math. Like I'd be like A, and it'd be like C. It would be my math, and I'd be like, huh. God, math was a. Oh, my girlfriend's here. Hello, but
Oh, hi there.
yeah, but yeah, no, math is not my strong suit.
Oh, don't you worry. I am shit at math as well.
Math is really hard. I'm low-key traumatized. Math, like I've cried over math exams, and I'm glad I'm past that part of my life. I don't have to worry about that anymore. Oh man.
Oh,
Oh
no.
man.
Oh no, I don't think I've ever cried, but definitely
my fear of math is pretty bad. I'm like, oh god, I'm gonna fail and be a loser. And like, it's funny because I tried so hard in high school. Like I had like a 3.8 GPA or something. Like I had really decent grades, and none of it mattered because I never went to college. So I'm like, why did I try so hard? I should have spent more time drawing or something, you know, instead of like staying up and finishing projects. Like, I could have been a C student. It would have been fine. Would have been fine.
right.
But
Yeah, I mean, I just remembered that it was a 3.14 because my old school, because I'm currently in homeschool, but my old school, my middle school, we would like celebrate Pi Day.
Oh yeah. I remember that was a thing. Like when you were younger, you like here's some pie.
Yeah, we would like there was a whole like tournament of who could recite the most numbers of pi. And whoever,
Oh yeah.
yeah, whoever would win would get taken out to a restaurant with a friend by a teacher.
Oh, look at that. See, that doesn't make me any less traumatized about math. Math is not my friend. I don't care if there's pie.
And yeah, they would give out pie. It was good. It was good.
Oh man.
So I was curious, is Alastair Casey your real full name?
Legally, Casey is my last name. Alistair is on paper, not my legal first name.
Okay.
I've not had a legal name change yet. So people are like, oh, it's you always, don't use your real name online, and I'm just like, oh, it's technically. I mean, I do consider this my real name, but it's not my my birth name. I think I'm surprised. Usually when you're trans, people will be like, oh, what's your real name? Like, tell us your actual name. And I think people are under the impression that Casey is my my birth name or something, and I was like, but why would I keep that in my name? But so then they just kind of bug off about asking for my quote unquote real name. But yeah, that's just the thing. So I'm like, yeah, I'm glad that I don't get asked that. I get asked a lot of other uncomfortable things, but not the name thing, which is nice. I think I confused everyone enough with the name because I can't even say it, so I win.
Yeah. Like I said, I thought it was Alastair.
It's fine. No, I had a voice coach for like maybe I only saw him like 3 times, but like for voice acting. He called me Alastair, but he was such a nice guy. The way he said it was very nice. It was a grovelly, deep voice. I was like, "You sir, you can call me Alastair. That is fine. I trust you."
Right.
I worked at a Target, and Target is very like LGBT trans friendly, and so you can have whatever you want on your name tag. Like there was a guy I worked with, he had Buddy the Elf on his name tag because it was around Christmas, and like they didn't care. So I just had Alistair, on my name tag, and everyone's like, "Is it Alistair or Alistair?" And I'd be like, "Oh, it's Alistair." And then like I got everyone calling me Alistair, but then one person was like, "I think it's Alistair," and then everyone was calling me Alistair, and I'm like, "You're all saying it wrong, and I hate you." Like, I've corrected you. It was nice though, because I would be, because I was like a sales floor person, so I'd be like, putting away stuff from the back to the front. But occasionally I would have to do cashiering, and the people would be like, "Oh, that's a cool name. I haven't heard that name in a really long time," or "I've never heard that name. Good for you." And I'm like, "Thanks, buddy."
Someone's saying my friend's name is Alastair, and they just draw. It's a struggle.
to spell and say. Yeah.
I mean, my name.
Actually. Oh yeah, Jesus. Yeah, that's another name. That's
Yeah, my name's a struggle because people will either call me Jesus, which is nice and all. It feels good to be called Jesus, but some people like I had someone call me. They wrote down my name as Jesse instead of
Jesse.
Jesus.
Oh
yeah.
no!
I don't even know how they could mess that up that badly. It's just like, please just learn my name. I understand it's not common, but come on now, it's not that hard.
If you don't know, just ask me.
Exactly.
I think there's so much people I know that have like struggles with their names. Like if you don't have like a very generic like white person name, you basically have like and Alistair's pretty kind of a white name too. It's just the spelling's weird. But
yeah, it's true. Like I mean, if you don't have a basic bitch name, it's just like everyone will mess it up.
Yeah. Oh man.
Yeah. So I guess we'll move on to the Twitter questions now that we got.
Okay, cool.
Let me see. Okay. 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 There's one question that we could get from here because the other two I kind of like. Well, actually, two actually, because the other one I asked. So to Pig 5431 is asking, what's his favorite show to date?
That's easy. It's Voltron, Legendary Defender, now streaming on Netflix.
I
love Voltron.
I don't watch TV or TV shows or anything like that, so I can't really say.
Oh no, yeah, I just I mean, I actually have cable again because my family didn't have cable for like years, but we have cable again. But I have Netflix and I love Voltron. It's very good. I just don't like some of the fans of the show, but Voltron itself, like, if you were to watch Voltron isolated from the internet, Voltron Legendary Defender is a very good show.
Well, I like Rick and Morty, right? But yeah, the fan base,
Oh yeah, I've watched. I still haven't watched season 3. That came like a year ago. I've watched the first 2 seasons. It's a very funny, good show. It's well written. I like it.
Oh yeah, it's good. But you know, the fan base is just terrible.
All fan bases are bad mostly, unless it's like too small. Like the bigger it is, the more room there is for like a lot of not so great people. So I mean, it's always good when it's bigger to enjoy it with more people, but then there's just more room for a-holes. So it's like a mess.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like I mean, look at I don't know, Rice Gum's fan base or Jake Paul or Logan Paul. Like dear God.
I only just learned who Ricegum was like 2 weeks ago. I don't watch a lot of YouTubers, so people were like, "Oh, you hear this thing?" And I'm like, "Who are we talking about?" Like, I don't know anyone. But yeah, I know who he is now. I think I saw like one video. But
He's the Asian man that makes diss tracks on people.
yeah, this is what I've learned.
Yeah, not a good YouTuber.
Oh man, oh no. A lot of fan of him is gonna hear that and be like, Shampoo is a hater, huh?
I mean, yeah, I don't like Rice Gum. Bad YouTuber.
I try to keep my opinions on other YouTubers to myself. Like if I dislike someone, I'm like, I'm gonna not tell this to anyone, maybe except close friends. I'll keep it to myself.
Oh no, yeah, I'll publicize my opinion about people. I don't mind. I mean, that's what used to be. That's what my channel used to be about, really. Just exposing videos. Good stuff, for sure.
Oh man, you're like, I'm gonna expose you. Oh,
yeah.
That's some saucy stuff.
For sure. And then the other question we've got here is from Watermelon Dude with 2 L's, because he's a cool kid. How did you come up with your drawing style?
I wish I came. It kind of just became what it is. Like, you can definitely make a conscious effort to, like, you can start with whatever you're starting, because everyone's influenced by something. Like, you can just tell like what kind of media they've watched. Like, they watch a lot of anime. Like, their style reflects that. My drawing style looks like I've watched a lot of cartoons, and I have watched a lot of cartoons, but wasn't like purposely making a conscious choice. Like, people are like, oh, you kind of draw like it looks like Pendleton Ward, like Adventure Time, and that wasn't like a conscious effort on my part. It kind of just that's what people are just equating it to because it's kind of like I draw people with like the 3 or 4 fingers or whatever, so it's very big dumb heads and eyes, so it's kind of cartoony. But yeah, I don't know. Like it kind of just developed into what it is. Like sometimes I'll look at other artists and be like, wow, I wish I can draw like that, but like I wish I could draw more realistically. I draw very like simple ish, so it's kind of just like whatever. But yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to make my style like I do very clean like line art, and it takes a long time and it like kills me. But I'm trying to make an effort to maybe like let myself be like more loose and sketchy about things, and I have not succeeded yet. Like just not even maybe with videos, but because I like the look I have now with videos, but like just personal drawings, like just like I don't know, just draw sketchy things. I used to draw very sketchy when I was like younger, but I can't do it anymore. I'm like cursed. I've like trained myself into drawing very clean lines now, and I'm like yeah. Anyway, that's my answer for that.
All right. So I've got one last question for you here, Alistair, and then that's it.
Okay, cool.
So what new and different things do you plan on doing with your channels here?
I'm gonna try to do more like I call them like normie videos, just like sort of more live action stuff between drawn stuff because I have a serious issue with like balancing myself because there's some months where I upload like once a month and it's like very bad and I don't like want that, but I'm trying to do maybe a thing where I can have maybe at least one drawn thing, something that's drawn and like I can call a finished product that like has movement to it, like at least once a month, and then between that I can do like just things where it's just recording like on camera footage stuff. Like I said, I don't want my video like my channel flooded with that kind of thing, but I also do want that balance and that like just that consistency because I hate like when I upload like once every 3 weeks or something and someone's like, I thought you died, like, oh, you're still uploading, and I'm just like and it like kind of bothers me because I'm like, yeah, I'm working but so yeah, so I'm really trying. I've been trying to do that for like a year, like I just haven't got it yet, but I'm still trying to do that. And then I want to do, like I was mentioning earlier, like start at least the first episode of a small animated short series, like 2 minute episodes. I have some of the voiceover done for it. It's quite simple, honestly, the whole premise and everything. But some of the voiceover is done for it. So it's pretty much I have to just finish the voiceover until I can really start the storyboarding the animation. Because it's pretty much just gonna be probably like puppet animation, so like a lot of tweening and stuff. But some of it I want to do like 12 frame animation. But yeah, so that'd be a new thing. I might start distancing myself, like talking less about myself and my stories, and try to just do more character stories because I'm really more interested in developing characters and making stories rather than talking about myself. Because I've gotten used to talk. Because the first time I start talking, like just I don't know, it feels very vain to talk about yourself. I've gotten used to it, but I'm like, I kind of want people to like just my work more than just like me, because it just feels very self-centered, and I'm like, and I feel like I've become more self-centered because of it, and I don't like it. I kind of want to be distanced from myself and just make things. This is getting very fake deep. I'm sorry. But yeah, so that's basically, yeah. So I just more variation in the things I'm creating, I think, is basically what I'm trying to say.
Right. Well, actually, we've got one question here in chat from Michaela Crimmins. They're they're asking. I know I'm late, but as a trans boy myself, can you give some tips for dealing with dysphoria/depression?
Yeah. I'm assuming you're probably a teenager, probably youngish. Because I mean, not to say people have dysphoria when they're older, but that's something I dealt with when I was young. I still deal with it I mean, the depression, the dysphoria, not so much of the depression. It's pretty real. But like when I was that age, or again, I'm assuming you're young. I don't know, but I was a teenager. I felt that a lot, the dysphoria bit, and I would try very hard to get rid of it, but like you can do things to alleviate the way you feel. So you have to figure like what body dysphoria you're feeling, and like okay, like maybe I dislike you know, something about like my chest or like the clothes I'm wearing or like maybe the way my voice sounds. That was a big one with me, is the sound of my voice. And you can do things to alleviate that. Like for instance, you can try wearing a binder or just wearing like sort of a tight sports bra if it's your chest that's bothering you. You can if you can't like a you know it's kind of a struggle too with me for finding men's clothes that fit me. Like even now, like I get an extra small from the men's section, and it's still a bit big on me. But you can, if your parents won't buy you stuff and it's expensive, you can go to like thrift stores and get clothes that you think like suit you better to make you feel more comfortable in. It's like try to focus less on how people are perceiving you and just focus more on like, okay, how can I make myself comfortable, and just do what you can in your power to like alleviate that. Like don't make it your goal to like, oh, I have to fix all these things about myself and make myself better and like perfect. Like you don't have to strive to be perfect. You just have to, again, it's just learning how to like manage some of that stress and that dysphoria. Yeah, you can message me on Twitter or Instagram if you still want help with this, because I'm trying to be kind of brief. But yeah, because I get that question a lot. But yeah, that's pretty much it. But yeah, don't feel bad about yourself, and like what you're feeling now, if you're feeling depressed, that like what you're feeling now, it will pass with time. Like it always passes with time. Like life is a series of up and downs. So what you're feeling now isn't gonna last forever. So that's important to remember. Yep, that's it.
Oh yeah, for sure. Life is definitely like a roller coaster.
It's very true.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's it, Alistair. Thank you for coming on. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Bye bye.
Alrighty then. Thank you everyone for tuning in. If you have enjoyed it, you can go ahead and drop me a like, drop me a sub. Anything would be appreciated. Thank you so much for tuning in once again. I'll see you next one. Take care and goodbye.